An early battle for two NFC heavyweights. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see two teams looking to bounce back from disappointing seasons a year ago, as it'll be the Carolina Panthers playing host to the Dallas Cowboys. I'll be back with you at halftime with a look at the other games that are going on. But now let's get up to Charlotte. Standing by, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in uptown Charlotte. Just a few moments ago, this building was shaking as the Carolina Panthers emerge from the tunnel here in Charlotte. They are ready to go as the Panthers are set to match up with the Dallas Cowboys. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. Set to return now. Here's Deontay Thompson. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be brought out by a man who hails from Sulphur, Louisiana, played his college ball at Mississippi State, the quarterback Dak Prescott.
The numbers he put up as a rookie, outstanding. But were they really, truly sustainable? Remember, they were 13-3 his rookie season. They ended up going 9-7 in 2017. How about they went from 4 interceptions in 2016 as a rookie to 13 his second year? These are numbers that you didn't expect to stay the same. I do expect Dak Prescott to continue to get better and better as a quarterback in the NFL.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. The offensive starters now for the Cowboys.
This offense begins and ends with Ezekiel Elliott. He played in only 10 games last year after leading the league in rushing as a rookie, but still led the league in rushing yards per game for the second year in a row. When he gets his hands on the football, everyone comes to the edge of their seat.
Prescott now on second down. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. He got 29 yards that time. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
Watch left. He's tied right there. There we go. 180.
On second down, Elliott. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Dak finding the former Jag Hearns for the Dallas first down. First down, Prescott. He gets it to Thomas. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action, and take your shot at the end zone.
It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a first and goal.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's...
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Cole Beasley from 10 yards out. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success, putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you got game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes the score 7-0. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They will be led out by their starting quarterback since his arrival back in 2011. It's Cam Newton.
2 years after leading the Panthers to the Super Bowl, he did get them back into the playoffs in 2017. Unfortunately, they fell in the first round. Just 206 yards passing per game, the lowest total of his career. But I think a lot of that was due to injuries on the offensive line and the lack of big-time weapons outside. The Panthers in the last two drafts, though, have tried to address that. Look for those numbers to climb up again for Cam Newton.
No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Strong left. Strong left.
To throw on second down is Newton. Rolling to his right. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. He tried to buy some time to the right. So, Charles, when a guy gets out of the pocket, what's the focus of the quarterback?
Most of them keep their eyes downfield. They want to try and make the play throwing the ball. Some of them, they want to tuck it and go. But when they scramble, in this case, as you said, to the right, you're cutting the field in half. So good defenses kind of converge in that spot, and they don't give you much territory to throw the ball. He had nowhere to go with it. Ends up getting the ball stripped.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. That'd be ideal.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Following the fumble recovery, Newton. He's going to go deep for Funchess. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Cowboys offense. The wild optimism going into last season, of course, because they were coming off that 13-3 year, but they faded a bit last year as they dropped to a good but not great 9-7.
The good thing for Dallas, they play in a pretty volatile division, the NFC East. There hasn't been a repeat champion in the East since 2003, 2004, and that was Philadelphia, who currently holds the crown right now. But this is a Dallas team that I think has worked its way through some adversity. They've lost some key veteran players along the way the last 2 years. So the face of the franchise, actually the face is quarterback Dak Prescott. But to me, the guy who really makes them go, running back Ezekiel Elliott. If they get 16 out of him, expect Dallas to be in the thick of things.
And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone to the chalk of the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Second down, Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run out.
And Beasley's got it. Touchdown, Cowboys. Cole Beasley with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Bailey got the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Bailey now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. We turn our attention to the Panthers as they come out here on offense, and it's been an interesting 3-year run. You look back to their Super Bowl appearance, then they dropped to 6-10 a couple of years ago. Last year back in the playoffs with 11 wins. So what in 2018?
I think a continuation of 2017 and an expansion on what we saw. It's always going to be a tough-minded team. They want to run the ball inside, and Cam Newton can be your short yardage runner as well as play the quarterback position and throw it. But they want to open things up. Remember, they drafted Christian McCaffrey last year, want to get him the ball in open space. They ended up drafting DJ Moore this year, so they want to be more explosive down the field throwing the football. And Luke Kuechly is a heck of a building block on defense. This is a team that fully expects to contend in the NFC South, and they think they can go much deeper in the playoffs.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
4 down. Check.
Out of the gun, Newton. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And out now come the Cowboys. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
And he finds Julius Thomas. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
A second down throw for Prescott. To the right side here, the tight end Thomas. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. From the red zone now, Prescott. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another first and goal. Now Elliott. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. 14-0 is our score. We're back to Uptown Charlotte after this timeout.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. Second and goal from inside the 5. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive.
Touchdown, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Here's Bailey now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes the score 21-0. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Bailey now to kick this one away. On the return, it's Kenyon Barner. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball, and when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to be marked down deep in Dallas territory. A fantastic connection that time. Newton to Funchess, 52 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A first red zone opportunity for the Panthers thus far. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. C.J. Anderson of the game. He gets it here. And he'll get this down only to the 18. And credit the tackle to Cliff Averill.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now Newton. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. He's showing off that arm, showing it off very well. They've got the lead. Don't forget, though, about the protection he's had. The protection's been good.
And I'll guarantee you he hasn't forgotten about it at all because that's keeping him clean in the pocket, allowing him to step into throws and make those deep passes come true. I mean, it's just been beautiful for him to do. But guess what? In the huddle, on the sidelines, guaranteed he's thanking those big guys up front for keeping him safe. I have a feeling he may even buy dinner.
Indeed, entertaining to relive some of those deep balls. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Now Prescott. He's going to float this one deep right. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kayvon Webster. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
They haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Being chased out left. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slam. Newton finding Funchess for the Panther 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dime. Nice grab. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be
taken down here at about the 11. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
On 2nd down, Anderson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Offense.
And that'll set them back 5. And a manageable 3rd down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here.
Holding. Offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And Gano's kick is right through. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on,
one?
what does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a 1st down there, just 1 yard. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. Last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. On 1st and 10, Prescott over the middle, open is Thomas. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. A reminder coming up at the half, we hook up with a new guy, Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis, and more importantly this year, scores and stats from around the league here in Week 1. So do not press that skip button. Looking to throw, Prescott. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended target, and now it's 3rd down.
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Finding Fells complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Prescott now 14 out of 17, 82%, and it's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Thompson. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
There we go.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout. And now we're set to get going. Prescott on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Bailey now for the extra point. Bailey got the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Bailey now to kick this one away. Now it's Barner. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Well, this is caught. It's Greg Olsen. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. As the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. On 1st and 10, Newton. And this is incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard.
Ready? 180.
Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. 3rd down, here's McCaffrey. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. As the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Stadium tours are available on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday during the spring summer months. For more information, please request a
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And they'll get him down up past the 15. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we'll check in for the first time with the newest member. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this is
I'm
doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
180.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
12 more yards there and another first down.
So much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 47. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll try the air now with Newton. And this one complete right side to Funchess. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Watch tight end, watch tight end. Key him. Key the tight end.
Set 180. Set hut.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
What is that? 180. What is
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This one from 48 yards away. And Godot's kick is right through. And the deficit falls under 20 now. It's a 19-point game. So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear. They want to close this gap.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the 2nd half. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. Zeke's having a great game here, Charles, in the 2nd half. What was the difference rookie season to 2nd season? Because he went from 5.1 yards per carry to 4.1.
Well, inconsistency. Remember, his 2nd year, Zeke was in and out of the lineup a little bit, as well as his offensive line, where the front 5 pretty much played the entire way his rookie year. Last year, there were guys in and out of the lineup due to injuries as well. Not the same continuity.
Well, things are clicking here in this one for him. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. But he's got it to Hearns. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
As huge a threat as Ezekiel Elliott is with the ball in his hands in the run game, I have to believe that the Cowboys want to continue to expand him in the passing game. Excellent hands, can run nice routes. They don't just have to throw it to him on screens either. They can make him an integral part of the passing game and increase their offense.
58 catches through his first 2 years, so you expect that total to go up.
I think that he can get 58 catches in 1 year if they choose to concentrate on it.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early.
False start, offense.
Well, this O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
Everybody take
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards there on the carry, gets it back to 2nd and 11.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Hey, you got 3, you got
Here we go.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Thomas has got it, complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They haven't been stopped yet. A perfect 7 for 7. This is 3rd and 4.
Here we go. Wide take.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he's going to get this inside the 30. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Prescott. That is incomplete. Knocking it away in coverage, Captain Mutterland.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock the Albert away and bring up 2nd down.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Here we go. Wide.
And again, it's Prescott. And incomplete. He was looking to get it to Allen Hurns that time. And it's 3rd and 5.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Wide.
Prescott yet again. And that will be incomplete as well.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down. Throw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. One of these quarterbacks going to learn. You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will extend their lead now up to 22. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
4 down, 4 down. That's it. 180.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
4 down. What is it?
Now it's Newton here off the bootleg. And that is incomplete. Jeff Heath, the strong safety, able to get in there on the coverage.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. And a fair catch taken here right at about the 40-yard line. Well, pretty woeful there, just 23 yards on the punt. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. Prescott now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They go to Elliott again. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Tackle made by K'Wan Short.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been flat getting it done, 8 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Now Prescott. Over the middle, it's Thomas. 7 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about offense is what we call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that'll extend this lead now up to 25. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Carolina getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? Well, a lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Eluding and he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Tyrone Crawford in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 4 down.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. And that'll be incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
The Panthers on 3rd down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 11. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay, because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now Austin. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now Dak Prescott and the offense heading back onto the field. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. Let's see if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Tight, double tight. Hey, boys, we got 4 down.
Now a play fake here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
I think it's okay, though, they didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Right back to him on first down. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Here we go. 180. 186.
They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up the third down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
186.
On third down, Elliott. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
Double tight. 4 down.
Here we go. 180. 186.
The give is to Elliott. And he'll take this one down near the 15. A gain of 3, second down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Here we go. 180. 186.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. That's caught. It's Thomas. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now first and goal.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Two tights.
They come out here in the eye. Prescott now. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. Now from the 9, here's second and goal.
Tight right. Hey, 4 down.
Hey, here we go. 180. 186.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain that time, and now it's third and goal. So stuff for no gain on second down brings up a pretty interesting third from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball.
And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Dak Prescott now 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon, and the Cowboys continue to pour it on. Turning into a really good performance on the road, week 1. You're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
Little work still to do, though. So they went to the booth to see if that was a touchdown, and they have decided it will not be a touchdown. 6 points off the board. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's got the hook up for the first time with a veteran, Jeremy Maclin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Newton now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Set 180.
On first down, it's Newton. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Hey, set 180.
To the air again, Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Newton will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
180. 180. Watch 88.
Newton on first down. And caught left side, Olsen. And down inside the 15 he goes. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
180.
McCaffrey on the counter. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo.
Here we go, set. Ready?
Hey, boys, we got 4.
Here's Newton now on second down. And this is incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. And it's third down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
We got 4.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey, and he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And Godot's kick is right through. And that will knock this down to still a very large 29-point deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And the Cowboys are able to recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Here we go. 180.
A give to Elliott. They find some open field here. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
Hey!
They'll run with Elliott. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hey, 4 down.
Throwing here, Prescott. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Here's Elliott, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Bailey got the extra point. And checking that NFL scoreboard there in the fourth quarter down in Arizona. And the Redskins coming away victorious there. Alex Smith, 2 touchdown passes in the W. Bailey now to kick this one away. Now it's Barner. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Carolina getting set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again. When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Watch 12. Watch 12.
Set. 180.
Back to the air. Newton on 2nd down. And Olsen over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Dallas, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll return home next week to take on the New York Jets.